Greetings, Algo artisans. Is Solana dead?
Not so fast.
I don't think so. In fact, I think it might be a good buying opportunity, which today's show is called Solana Network Down, Solana Dead, or a Buy. We're going to talk about that right now. But before we get into that, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow on X, follow on YouTube. All those things help us get more content out to you. Okay, we're going to start with the CoinDesk article. Solana blockchain suffers 5-hour outage. The major outage triggered a drop in Solana's SOL token. Now, this did happen at about 3:30 a.m. Solana is back up, far as I can tell, and as far as this article is concerned. And there's a little bit more to this story than Solana just going down. All right, so let's go ahead and read straight from the article. Solana, the low latency blockchain that's seen an explosion in activity in recent months, experienced an approximately 5-hour outage on Tuesday. Solana's SOL token slumped from around $96 before the problem began to below $94 as the incident was ongoing. It was recently down 2.5% from 24 hours earlier, worse than the 1% drop in the CoinDesk 20 index, a benchmark for the largest cryptocurrency. Transactions resumed being processed around 1500 UTC, blockchain data showed. The halt came nearly a year after Solana network was down for almost 2 days in April 2023. Solana mainnet data beta. In fact, let's stop here. We're going to find out right now why it went down. And when this article talks about this, this actually is going to be a reason why I think it's, well, quite frankly, the price was relatively unaffected. And that's why I think it's a great buy. Now, I personally would have liked to see the price fall hard. And we are going to look at the chart and review it here shortly. But in the meantime, we're going to see here why it went down and why I think it's no big deal. It says here, and in fact, why I think it was a great stress test for the price itself. Okay, so to the article. Solana mainnet beta is experiencing a performance degradation. Block progression is currently halted. Core engineers validators are currently actively investigating. Lane, a Solana validator, said in an X post when the problem was still going on. Core engineers said they identified a fix and were building a new version for validators to upgrade. Network validator M. Trump said on an X post. In a follow-up post, Lane said the validators had begun generating snapshots using their local ledger, state, or the most recent data for the outage to prepare for a restart. The new validator software release. Why? I'm going to break off from the article here. The article does talk about the new validator software release, and this is most likely why this happened, right? They're beta testing a new validator software, and for those who might be new to crypto, there are proof of work and proof of stake type cryptos, and there are validators. So there are people who basically will work a lot of times for, like, say, proof of stake. You actually hold a certain amount of cryptocurrency, and through their software, you validate transaction. And if I got this right, which again, I'm not really deep into crypto tech, I know proof of work is where, like, crypto mining for, say, Bitcoin is involved, where instead of, you know, simply staking your holdings, you actually have a machine that does the work itself, which I personally trust a little bit more. But either way, either person is called a validator. That's how crypto works. You have a decentralized validation of the transaction, right? You have thousands of different people all validating the same blocks, which means that one person can't cheat and make up a transaction that never happened. So they're introducing a new software for validators, and when you release something brand new on the chain, a lot of times you're going to have some hiccups, and this was a 5-hour hiccup. Okay, so that's pretty much what happened here. It didn't have anything to do with the original core software or anything like that. It's just because of a beta test of a new validator software. And that includes a patch to address an issue that caused the cluster to halt, said the Solana Foundation, which maintains the network, right? So validator operators should prepare for an upgrade and restart the network. Validators are entities that utilize computing power to maintain a blockchain and process transactions. Snapshots refer to an exact copy of blockchain data at a certain point in time. So I think what really matters here is, first of all, let's roll back. It did say here that the chain was down for almost 2 days in April 2023. And even after that happened in 2023, Solana has been, as far as larger cryptocurrencies are concerned, it has been one of the best performers in the market to date. As far as the larger cryptos go, perhaps the best performer. I would have to go back and look at the numbers, but we can go ahead and take a look at the chart here and pull that up. So this is a daily chart, right? So this is a chart where each one of these candles is a day's worth of price action. And if we go back to late 2023, if you're not in October here, Solana was down at the $18 area. It was actually maybe around, $18.50. Last year, it made it all the way down in early 2023, probably during this problem, down to $12.80, right? Broke above after Solana was the blockchain started working again. And for about, 2 months, it went from this low point of $12.50 all the way up to 32, so it almost tripled. And then it slumped back down with the rest of the market, made its way down to about $17. Now, those who are in Algo Factory knew. I personally said this was probably a good buying opportunity. Of course, we don't give investment advice. You always have to check with your licensed investment advisor because you can lose your money by risking it on the markets, right? So we don't do that. We're all for educational purposes. But I did let everybody know in Algo Factory that I thought Solana wasn't excellent. The reason that Solana went down ultimately had to do with FTX, right? So FTX had some issues. If you are into crypto and you've been living under a rock, let me explain it briefly. There was just massive fraud allegations with FTX, right? They essentially were spinning up money that didn't exist. You could call it a Ponzi scheme, and that might be being polite. So long story short, FTX being built on the Solana chain, Solana was associated with FTX, and when FTX fell, everybody sold off Solana in a very heavy way. So, that's just why Solana went down. People essentially associated Solana with FTX, and it died. Well, here's the thing about that. A similar thing happened to Bitcoin, right? So back in, I think it was 2015, I'd have to look up date, because this is prior to me being in crypto. MTGOX, Magic the Gathering online exchange, was a company, I think, based out of Japan, and Magic the Gathering is a game with physical cards that you play. Like, you get together, you sit at a desk or something with each other, and you play this game, and you use these cards, and the cards are collectible. And so there was an online exchange, and they accepted crypto, and this is one of the first really widespread kind of focused uses of Bitcoin, right? They accepted Bitcoin in particular. Well, someone pretty much took the money and ran. I think it's a little more complex than that, but the owner of the exchange, if I'm not mistaken, again, this is before my time in crypto, but they took all the Bitcoin and ran. And eventually, I think they're still rectifying it even now, because I think they have the guy, and I don't know what they did legally. But long story short, there's nothing wrong with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin took a massive tumble because everybody associated Bitcoin with Magic the Gathering. People did not understand the technology of Bitcoin, where if you hold your own wallet, then you hold your own Bitcoin and nobody can really take it. At least so far, nobody's been able to. Well, the problem is they had their Bitcoin on the MTGOX exchange, and therefore when the exchange went down, they were not holding the Bitcoin themselves. Their Bitcoin got stolen. Everybody said Bitcoin bad. The price went down really low, and one of my buddies came in with about 10 grand and swiped it up while it was still under $100 because the price was dilapidated, right? Now he's got millions of dollars worth of crypto, Bitcoin in particular. So this is a similar kind of scenario if you ask me. Nothing fundamentally changed with the Solana blockchain at all. Solana is still Solana. It just was associated with FTX and experienced a massive sell-off in relation to FTX, and I told people that I was very interested in Solana and got some in this early, pick some up. And of course, I don't sell any of my holdings. I just buy and I hold them. One day I will sell them at some point, but I do not do that. In fact, what I may end up doing is simply lending them out at some point, and getting paid that way. Long story short, though, is that's when I was interested in swiping it up. And I know some people at Algo Factory heard me say that, and they did their own research and picked some up, and they were able to buy all kinds of equipment and everything else after all the gains they made when it went up times 6 up until its high earlier this year, or late last year, I should say, from say $12 all the way to $120. And I think I swiped it up around like bucks, maybe under $20, around about there. So all that to say is that's something that I said in Algo Factory and I did not say elsewhere. And right now we're looking at Solana, and the whole crypto market has been taking a break, right? So it's all been kind of ever since the ETF, Bitcoin's been selling off, the cryptos are selling off, and we're looking at Solana right now, and it is, yes, selling off, but let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit and see how it performed during this period of time, right? When the actual when the blockchain got shut off. I mean, we're not really seeing a huge change in price. It looks like, I think it happened right about here. And price, what did it go from like $98 to $93, and now it's already back up to $96. What does this tell us, right? This tells us that despite the entire blockchain shutting down, Solana really only lost, a total of right now, if you look at the price from the time it started until now, 3% maybe. So there's a lot of faith in the Solana blockchain, and I can also tell you there's a lot of major interest in the Solana blockchain. So very interesting stuff. Please come over to algofactory.tech if you want to learn more about what I'm interested in, if you want to learn about building your own trading algorithm, about becoming possibly financially independent. We teach people who don't know how to trade. We teach people who know how to trade better. We give the nuts and bolts. We don't do investment advice, but if you do, come check us out. We'd love to see you over there. So don't forget to trade your job, upgrade your life. We'll see you on the next one. All right, hope you enjoyed the show. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. On the screen there, you can see our website, algofactory.tech. Step that QR code to take you straight there. I'm also very active on X. That's algo_factory777. We got TikTok and Rumble. In the meantime, we hope to see you over at the website. Come on over, trade your job, upgrade your life. We'll see you there.